Hey guys, so I stole a little minute to gather my thoughts and some things, and I'm going to share about what we are doing for English in our homeschool. I recently realized that 4 out of my 5 kids who are currently of school age are all doing Oak Meadow English, so I thought it would make sense to make a video about that and share basically how that happened and like why it's working. So we're going to start with 6th grade. First, I'm going to talk a little bit, and then I've got my 6th grader here to give some commentary. So first is, these are the first 3 books that you read in 6th grade in Oak Meadow, and they are historical fiction, and well, this one is Turkish folk tales, but it goes with the ancient civilizations timeline. So that's how Oak Meadow works, is you have the English book, but then you also have reading. And we're going to just look at the first couple of lessons. Basically, one of the things I like the most about Oak Meadow from 6th grade on is that the English incorporates the history. So as you can see, first of all, the books which are for English are about historical fiction and time period. And the first research paper, which I think is in lesson 3, is on... it doesn't say here, but it's in the lesson, is on the historical time period. They get to pick from a couple of different options, and the English is telling them how to write the essay, but the essay is about their history. So that is what I really like about Oak Meadow's curriculum. And he's also doing ancient civilizations, but we're sticking to English for the purposes of this video. And then we have his notebook. And so some examples of the assignments are vocabulary. We have different types of sentences, more different types of sentences, subjects and predicates, sentence structures, more sentence structures, format for 3-sentence paragraph. This is amazing. So these are notes that he took from the English, and I was helping him figure out how to take the notes and maybe reading to him, and he was writing it down. But it's really helpful for teaching them how to write an essay. And then we have more sentence types, nouns, types of nouns, vocabulary, which they do in alphabetical order as well, and outline format. So this is how you outline a paper. And we have a draft of an essay. So that's the English work, and that's the course book. And now he'll come, sound problem. So why don't you tell us what you liked about, what do you like about Oak Meadow English?
The books.
Like, what do you like about them?
That, they're interesting, I guess.
Like, what's interesting about them versus other books that you've read?
They're real.
They're real. So you like historical fiction?
Some of them are.
Like, you like the writing style?
Yeah.
And I know you liked Golden Bowl more than Maru. So what did you like about Golden Bowl?
It's like, can't explain it somehow, but it's like interesting.
It's interesting. Is there a lot of action in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
What do you think about the actual assignments for English? What do you think about that and the way that it's formatted?
It's not like super easy, so I like it.
It's challenging, but it's not super hard either. It's like the right level.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the way that it teaches you versus other stuff that you've done for English?
Like, it has a lot in one lesson instead of just like one thing per lesson.
Yeah. Like more complex stuff.
Yeah.
And what's your impression so far?
It's good.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
My handwriting's so
Thank you. All right. Next, we will move on to 9th grade. And I have shared these before in my curriculum picks if you want to see like more in depth on those. So we switched over. Well, that's not true. We didn't switch over. We added in the hero's journey for my 9th grader. And the first couple of books that are done is House of Light, which is poems by Mary Oliver. And I thought this was funny. I knew I had this, but I couldn't find it. So then I went and bought another copy, and then I immediately found this one, which is so frustrating. And then the next book, just kidding, Call of the Wilds for the other English we're doing. Next book is House of Scorpion, and this is a dystopian novel, and so you're reading from this, and then there are writing assignments that go with it. So let's see if I can find an example. It also teaches like what is the hero's journey. So here's the House of the Scorpion. So for example, you read the chapters, use the vocabulary words to describe a setting, answer the comprehension questions, write 2 to 3 paragraphs about the price of Matt's freedom, write a letter warning Maria to stay away from Matt, and complete your journal assignments. So what I like about this, as well as what it's actually requiring, is it's very clear what are the assignments. Like you don't have to go digging in to figure it out. And then you have more information throughout the lesson that's included. So, for example, like it will tell you to read this, and then this is where you have some of the vocabulary, things like that. Then there's a reader's journal. So, really like that. And then we can briefly look at some of the writing assignments. We've got, I think this was from the first lesson talking about mentors. Then we have vocabulary. Answering some of the questions, another of the writing assignments, more discussion questions, more vocabulary. I don't know why he ripped these pages out. We were just having a big discussion about that. But okay, so this we recently started, so there's not a ton of pages, but you could see it's a good mix as well of types of assignments at all of the grade levels. There's vocabulary, there's discussion questions, there's writing assignments. So I really like that it is a very there's also grammar, as we saw in the 6th grade. So it's a very comprehensive English course. You don't have to also go get, like in the 6th grade, there's a spelling test. You don't also have to do spelling and grammar and writing and literature in these 4 separate pieces. It is all there, and that is what I like about it. I am also doing another ELA for this student because I really want to beef up his ELA, and he also, that one is historical fiction, and he really likes history. So that works well together. But this has been very positive for someone who has tried very hard to avoid doing ELA and avoid writing. He said this book is actually interesting, and he likes doing a comparative essay of the characters, for example. And I think that the Oak Meadow curriculum really explains it well, like explains the assignment. It's not like, go write a comparative essay, and then the students are like, what is that? You didn't teach it to me. I think that their curriculum is really a good like mentor text in terms of, especially you saw possibly the 6th grade, it's telling you this is how you write an essay. You have a topic sentence, and then you have supporting details. So I really like that about it as well. Next, we will move on to my 11th/12th grader. She is graduating early this year. I have shared more about this on Instagram. She is doing these 3 levels as one level of English. She's not focusing on the writing assignments because she is also doing AP English Language, where she is doing extensive amounts of reading, annotating, and writing about essays and speeches, but she is doing some of the essays. She has already read all of the books because she is a prolific reader, but I don't have an example of the writing to show you, but we can look at, and I have, again, I have shown this in our curriculum picks. So you have like all different sorts of writing prompts that the students are doing. So let me see if I can find, here's an assignment checklist. Complete the assignments in exploring what you know, complete the read, view, respond assignments, answer comprehension questions and critical thinking prompts, write a reflection on identity, and then you have an activity, which is mapping Latin America. So again, very interdisciplinary, very structured, very, there's no guesswork about what is expected of the student. And there's also teacher books for these as well, which I would highly recommend for high school level, but I have them for 6th grade as well. And then lastly, we have my 12th grader. She's also doing Oak Meadow. So she's doing American Literature Classics because she's done a lot of European classics with other curriculum that we've used. So I thought it would make sense to do American classics. And you can see, I've shown this again in her curriculum pick, but it's 19th century short stories. Then you have essays and speeches. And this is all available on their website if you want a closer look. The 19th century poetry, African, American, and Southern short stories, Passing, The Great Gatsby, 20th century poetry, The Grapes of Wrath, and 20th century short stories. And you can see there's a good amount of diverse authors and things going on. which I appreciate. She also has some other assignments she's doing because we are using this as like the spine for her AP English literature. So this is the textbook we're using. It's not the most current version, but it's good enough for us. And I've generated several different tools for her to use in order to study and prepare for the AP English Literature exam, which is in May. So for example, I took all of the books that she read, including the ones that are assigned in here, and I generated essay prompts for her to do. And these are just placeholder essay dates, due dates, but like here you can see Grapes of Wrath is in here, and just these are a certain type of question, Q3. And then she also generates for herself reading and other assignments in here. She had used ChatGPT in the past. I don't know if she's still doing that. And then AP Classroom has its own practice questions because there are like multiple choice questions and other things. So this is the textbook that they use in a typical classroom, and you can see that there's excerpts in here. So that's how a lot of classrooms teach it these days. They don't have time for all of the things, I guess. So you look at these little excerpts, but the point of this for us is to get the AP specific practice. And I don't know if you guys saw, but this has a lot of essays and short stories. The essays in particular would be great if you wanted to do an AP English language, which is what my other daughter's doing, because they literally analyze essays and speeches by like Abraham Lincoln, and I think Faulkner was in there, and James Baldwin. And she is also doing the honors African American studies. And so we have a lot more, she's using the African American anthology book that I've shown in a prior video to bridge both the AP English Lit and the African American Studies. So I really obviously am happy with all of the Oak Meadow English offerings. That's why I'm using them, for 4 out of 5 school-aged kids in my home right now. The difference with the younger levels of Oak Meadow is that it's one course book. It's not separated by subject. That doesn't happen until 6th grade. And so that's why I prefer using the 6th grade and on, because I adore the English only course books. So that's what is going on in our homeschool. Hopefully this video is helpful to you guys to see what some of the different Oak Meadow English offerings are and how they work. All of these have novels that go along with them. I just didn't have the opportunity to pull them all and show you, but they all have like the spine textbook and then the books that the students are reading. So I really like that as well. I like the balance of textbook plus novel, and they're reading, like he's read these, and it's been less than 2 months that we've been doing this. So I really like the amount of reading as well. It is not lightweight. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys, and I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.